G'day ladies and gentlemen, my name's Isaac Butterfield, and every bad person that has ever lived, every vile human, every sad excuse for a human being has one thing in common, and that is they were once a child. A little Homo sapien with the whole world at their feet, but something went wrong. Terribly wrong. Take every single female and divorcee's favourite, Ted Bundy. He was a child. Nothing wrong with him. And then somewhere along the lines, there was a catalyst for change that turned him from a kid into a terrifying, murdering monster. And I know what that change was. Ted Bundy read The Very Hungry Caterpillar. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Take a look at this.
Some of Australia's best-loved books have been criticised for being outdated and not culturally diverse.
Jesus, fuck me sideways. Can we not have anything that's nice? Is that really what's going to help the adults, the leaders, the people of tomorrow? Changing children's books? Is that really what's going to save the climate? A bit of diversity in children's books? I think not, you big pile of fuck. Don't get me wrong. Different peoples of colours and genders and religions in books is great. Wonderful, fantastic. I fucking love it. I'm sure we all had books when we were kids that had people that weren't just fucking white people. But this whole diversity thing, when it comes to books, you lose me with the first book that you reference. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. A book about a hungry caterpillar that's fucking green. That's not toxic white culture. That's green. I'm by no means a fucking expert on children's literature. What psycho does that as a job anyway? But can I just say, with my own two eyes, my own man eyes, my beautiful blue eyes, I can see that's green. An Australian researcher has warned that classic books including The Very Hungry Caterpillar and Harry the Dirty Dog could be detrimental to kids. Could be. This is Harry the Dirty Dog and a hungry fucking caterpillar. Could be detrimental to kids. What? Who is this researcher? Dr. Helen Adam. Fuck off, Helen. Fuck off. Dr. Helen Adam of Edith Cowan University's School of Education has flagged 10 classic children's books that fail to showcase diverse characters. Why do they have to? Why not just include some others that have diverse characters and then have other books that don't have diverse characters and then overall it's all diverse? Wow, I should be a fucking scholar. Purely and simply, this research shows there's a lack of representation of boys and girls in non-traditional gender roles in these books. These books, Helen, are not fucking Mein Kampf. We're talking about Harry McClary and the Very Hungry fucking Caterpillar and some dirty dog called Harry. Of course they're not displaying non-traditional gender roles. Caterpillars don't give a fuck about non-traditional gender roles. On top of that, here's a question. How does Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy, the fucking cutest dog in the world, how does that dog, Helen, I'm asking you this directly, how does that dog display diverse gender roles? Helen, you fucking hero?
Some of Australia's most loved children's books are under fire for their lack of diversity. They've been criticised.
Look at some of these books. Possum Magic, Wombat Stew, We're Going on a Bear Hunt. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Vladimir Putin, nuke me now! Okay, seriously. Some of these books are fucking fantastic. I read them when I was a kid, and my kids will read them too. As much as Mean Fuhrer Helen, whatever her name was, wants kids not to read these great books, they'll be fucking reading them, Helen. They'll be reading them, and you know what? If they grow up to be fucking Ted Bundys because they read The Very Hungry Caterpillar, so be it. I tried my best. Although I will say this, Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy, I'll read you an excerpt that I don't remember from when I was a kid. Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy arrived at the White Power rally, donned her Ku Klux Klan hood and set a cross ablaze. I don't remember that part, but you know, maybe we should have more diverse stories for children.
They've been criticised for reflecting dominant culture and outdated viewpoints and lifestyles.
But wouldn't you expect them to showcase a dominant culture, considering that most people in Australia are white. There's heaps that aren't, but most are. It's not racist, there's just more representation from white people because there's more of us. Would you rather, if there's no people of colour as authors that were available for this particular story, would you rather a white dude writes a story about a black family? That's worse, in my opinion.
A study by Edith Cowan University showed that classroom favourites like Possum Magic and Rosie's Walk not only lacked representations of people of colour,
Fuck me dead.
but 6 of the top 10 only had animal characters. Researchers say that further decreases the likelihood of children from minority backgrounds seeing characters similar to themselves.
But there's great stories about animals and it removes all the human bullshit. Isn't that the point? Like, look at Possum Magic, a story about beautiful little possums running around hooting and scootering. It's beautiful. And having a story about possums means you don't have to worry about gender quotas and non-traditional gender roles and they, thems and all that shit in fucking children's storybooks because we're talking about possums. And of course we're talking about beautiful Australian possums pictured here, not disgusting American opossums pictured there. These fucks are terrifying. It just so happens that I believe that this is just Helen's way of having a 5 minutes of fame. She does it every couple of years and she brings out another fucking thing that we've done wrong because we're fucking all dirty white supremacists, etc, etc. I'm sorry, Helen.
Joining us now, lead author of the study, Dr. Helen Adam.
Okay, Helen. Let's have a look at who you are. Let's have a look at your Twitter. Oh, an academic. Oh, you big show off. Advocate for equity in education and society. She, her. We know you're a fucking woman, Helen. Shut the fuck up. Hashtag decolonise the curriculum. Good God. Okay, I'm not even going to go into that. She's a great academic, though. I will say this. One of my favourite pieces that she's ever written was this. Book collections in long daycare, do they reflect racial diversity? What a fucking read.
Helen, I feel really guilty. You've made me guilty because I give all of my grandkids a copy of Possum Magic on their first birthday. I'm now a bad grandfather.
No, you're not a bad grandfather, Koshi. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful classic books.
Beautiful classic books? You just said how detrimental they were to children 5 minutes ago. Make up your mind, Helen. Will they create the next Hitler or not?
So the headline this morning seems to be there's something wrong with these 10 books. So that's not the case?
No, look, I think you've got the key there. Headlines are made to be provocative and get people to read or listen or view. It's not about bad books. These are classic books for a really good reason.
She says that quite a bit and she said it in other interviews as well. But is she being genuine? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe she is. And yes, the headlines do create a whole world of their own and it's not up to her to create the headlines. I'll give her that. But as I said before, she does do this every couple of years just to make sure that everyone remembers the name Helen. I've forgotten her last name again. Whatever her fucking last name is. She doesn't want people to forget. It's going terribly, I will add. But she doesn't want people to forget. This is from a couple of years ago. According to a new analysis from Edith Cowan University, that's Helen, some classic children's books could be causing girls to have low self-esteem and raising boys to be entitled. Yeah, that's the type of shit that she churns out on a regular basis. The study's lead author, academic doctor, wow, Helen Adam, who has a man's name for her last name, which is just disgraceful. Why can't women go their own way? We're the men, all right? You go and do your own thing, all right? You've got all the things in the world, you go and do that. Don't be taking our names. Flagged the Dr. Seuss classic, Cat in the Hat, for its white heteronormative depiction of middle-class binary children. Shut the fuck up, Helen, you fuck. So yeah, when Helen says there's nothing wrong with these books, I love these classics, I don't fucking believe it for a second.
Do you have any books you can suggest for us what we should be steering towards?
Look, there's some absolutely, we've got a brilliant publishing industry in Australia. Anything by Magabala Books from Broome, the work of Jasmine Seymour, the work of Scott Stewart. You know, My Shadow is Pink, My Shadow is Purple. They're beautiful books.
All right, I had a look at those books. My Shadow is Pink is about a boy who prefers to dress up as a girl, and My Shadow is Purple is a heartwarming and inspiring book about being your true self and moving beyond the gender binary. Yeah, that's what kids should be reading in fucking primary school. Yeah. Nice one, Helen, you psycho. And you'd rather recommend those over Possum Magic. Which one of those books, someone removing the gender binary from their life, or Possum Magic, is going to cause more pain in someone's life. What do I mean by, I'm not even going to get into that. Someone will fucking cancel me for even suggesting this, that these kids probably shouldn't be exposed to that for a long time. And if they do decide to be non-binary or whatever, that's fucking cool. But don't make that decision when you're 6. Just live your life. Adults, Helen, let kids be kids. This is what she said about Cat in the Hat. She told the Herald Sun that the book is very white and old-fashioned and it promotes outdated notions of family and their roles and features minority cultures as stereotyped who are in subservient roles to white characters. Helen, lighten up. Lighten up, you sad old monster. Harry the Dirty Dog, which was first published in 1956, also got a bad rap, as it is biased towards male representation, and it only features 24 men and only 7 women. Wow! I've once heard of a book called Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants, and there's like 40 chicks in that and about 3 blokes. I'm gonna start a fucking riot. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this. When you have these preconceived ideas about how bad gender roles are and how bad the whole idea of a binary system of men do this and women do that, when you are so terrified of that, you will find reasons anywhere and you will find examples absolutely everywhere of places where you see this happening and then they must be stopped, they must be silenced, they must be changed. Otherwise, that's what's wrong with the world. And that's what Helen is doing here. She is creating these problems within her own realm and then spreading them to everyone else just to work herself into a job, just to find public funding. That is what she's doing. Or I'm completely wrong. And Helen's right. And we need to listen to Helen because you know what? I've been thinking about it. And I've thought of 10 things that need to change right now in primary schools or I'm gonna fucking screw. And if we don't change these things, you're racist, you're sexist, and you're homophobic. Are you ready? Brown lunch bags. Why do lunch orders need to be in brown bags? What's wrong with white bags, you racist? The pen license. Okay, what about people with stylophobia, a fear of pens? Have you thought of them? That's not very inclusive. Australia, you homophobic fucks. The classic game heads down, thumbs up. What about people without thumbs, you ableist dogs? Pokemon cards. All right, let's just appropriate Japanese culture, why don't we? Playing the game catch and kiss. Yeah? Righto, Harvey Weinstein. No hat, no play. What about cultures that finds hats offensive? Did you think about them? Cheese TV, a very popular TV station when I was a kid. What about lactose intolerant people? When are we gonna think of lactose intolerant people? Memmy noodles, once again, cultural appropriation. The magic school bus? Christ! What a cis, white, heteronormative experience on a public school bus. Yuck! Barbie dolls, why do they have to be women? Why can't they be trans? Oh wait, last week they gave us a trans Barbie doll. She looks great. How absolutely gorgeous. After reading Helen's fucking articles and after listening to Helen for this entire video, I've decided the only way that I can possibly get back to my normal self is to run into my kitchen and headbutt the splashback. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, it extinct. Toodaloo, au revoir. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the video. Your support means absolutely everything. If you haven't subscribed, do it right now. You keep me dogs fed and I love you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, there's 3 new videos on this channel every week. And if you want more, you can head over to Little Butts Mom, which is the 2nd channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more. What about the podcast each and every week? It's available on Spotify and YouTube as well. And I'm also on tour right now around the country doing my show, Cancel Me Now. Stand-up comedy is back, ladies and gentlemen. And please, for Christ's sake, follow me on Instagram. I'm very lonely. Love ya. Bye.